in-depth, investigative. This is KXAN News Today.
Good morning, I'm Tom Miller. We begin this morning with some breaking news and a firefighter in the hospital this morning after an incident in Austin on I-35 by Riverside Drive. That firefighter is expected to be okay. Want to take a live look out in this area right now. We know that I-35 through this portion of downtown Austin has just reopened. Still working to get some details on what exactly happened right now, but we know that the road was closed starting at 3 this morning, just reopening within the last couple of minutes. We will have a live report from Blake Devine, who's there on the scene within the next half hour, trying to work out some of these details.
First warning weather with meteorologist Sean Kelly.
Hey, good morning, everyone. We start with the look outside and a little bit damp, a few spot showers and sprinkles, very, very light, and it's mild, 72 degrees as you're starting off your morning here. No heavy rain, but let me show you what's going on out there on the satellite and radar. Of course, cloudy skies, and we have a few light rain showers and sprinkles into northern Caldwell County, into portions of Bastrop, even a few sprinkles out near LaGrange. A little bit more, I'd say, steady widespread for portions of Travis County. Rain from Bee Cave into Hudson Bend, Anderson Mill. This will only add up to a few hundredths of an inch. We've got some scattered light rain into portions of Burnett County and into San Saba. So we'll continue to see this through the next few hours. We'll dry now, and then we're actually looking at a pretty low chance of rain heading to the afternoon. A much better forecast for many. 67 in Horseshoe Bay. Metro temperatures a little bit milder in a few spots. 70 in Round Rock, 71 in Taylor. Further out towards the east, we're into the 60s and 70s as well. We've got to deal with this humidity that is here to stay, so get used to that. Muggy all week long. A pretty nice day to head out to the hike and bike trail today with, again, those 20% chances for some showers and some thunderstorms, especially into the afternoon. But the majority of us will stay dry. Then we focus in on the heat and the humidity that will settle in for much of the state from Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday. But look at this. Those rain chances ramp back up, especially for the weekend. We'll go through that hour-by-hour forecast and let you know how much rain we could see coming up in First Warning Weather.
Thank you, Sean. Today's all about honoring the men and women who've lost their lives serving our country. Several different cities in Central Texas are honoring them. Governor Greg Abbott heading to Georgetown this morning, where he's going to be delivering the keynote address at the Veterans Memorial Plaza. That begins at 9:30 this morning. San Marcos hosting its Memorial Day ceremony at the Hays County Veterans Memorial. That is open to the public and starts at 10. And here in Austin, a special Memorial Day service will be held at the State Cemetery. That will also be this morning at 10. And with many people off work for the holiday, Travis County EMS has some reminders that you want to be careful for if you're out on the water today. EMS really stressing for people not to drink and drive their boats. They want you to know your location at all times and be able to provide a description of your boat. Kids 13 years old and younger, they must wear life jackets, and all boats need to carry life jackets for all on board. Make sure to watch for other traffic as well. Sailboats always have the right of way. You want to get out of and off the water if there's lightning or thunder. Don't dive or jump into unknown water, and make sure to wear sunblock. Recommend at least having SPF 15. The annual National Memorial Day concert returning to the West Lawn of the U.S. Capitol for a night of remembrance. This year, the 34th year that PBS has broadcast this event honoring our country's veterans, servicemen and women, and military families. Concert pays tribute to those who died serving our nation. And as NBC's Derek Ward reports, thousands of motorcyclists rode through the nation's capital for the annual Rolling to Remember.
They rolled out from the Pentagon at high noon on their way to the iconic route past the nation's capital's memorials, the White House, and Capitol Hill. The Rolling Thunder mantle has been picked up and given a ride by AMVETS, a group chartered by Congress to assist veterans. There's no denying the spectacle and sight and sound. But this is and always has been a demonstration born out of concern for those missing in action and for veterans care, especially dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder. They say it's a contributing factor to more than 22 veteran suicides every day. Nick Walker's with a local organization called Pulling for Veterans. They mean that literally. When these trailers are rented out and pulled, regardless of what they haul, the outside is loaded with information about post-traumatic stress disorder.
On one side of the trailer, I put what veterans go through, invisible wounds, triggers.
The other side of the trailer has information about what veterans' families go through.
Mothers, the brothers, the spouses, mom, dad, because these are the caregivers that are caring for us veterans.
Each trailer is dedicated to a veteran who succumbed to PTSD. The rental fees go to Veterans Resources. Riders from every state in the Union and several foreign countries take part.
We come out, we remember those who passed away. There's camaraderie out here. You know, it's just a day to be with people. You know, kind of let things go that we've seen in our culture and around the world today.
And at the heart of it all is remembering what the Memorial Day weekend is really about. And it wraps up with a parade on Monday.
There's about 5,000 people in the parade, about 35 marching bands from around the country. Veterans from, again, living veterans from World War II all the way through the present day, hundreds of active duty service members. A fun atmosphere for everybody, but also always trying to come back to that true meaning of the day.
It's Memorial Day. Remember us.
Also this morning, President Joe Biden says the debt ceiling deal reached over the weekend will avoid a, quote, catastrophic default. The president confirming he finalized the deal with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. And NBC's Bree Jackson explains what's in this last-minute agreement.
After weeks of slow progress, a breakthrough on debt ceiling negotiations. The White House and Republicans reached a bipartisan deal over the weekend.
The agreement prevents the worst possible crisis, a default.
The agreement extends the government's current debt limit for 2 years in exchange for spending cuts. There are no changes to Medicaid, but there will be work requirements for certain people on food stamp programs, a major sticking point during talks.
It's not 100% what everybody wants, but when you look, the country is going to be stronger. This is going to be transformational.
Members from both parties are praising the last-minute deal to avoid a government default.
Overwhelmingly, Republicans in this conference are going to support the deal. How could they not? It is a fantastic deal.
But other Republicans and some progressives raise concerns.
You know, I'm not a big fan of in principle or frameworks. That's always, a problem if you can't see the exact legislative text.
President Biden says the budget deal is good news for Americans.
I strongly urge both chambers to pass that agreement.
Lawmakers must act fast, but will have a little more breathing room. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said that the default deadline is extended to June 5th.
That was Bree Jackson reporting for us. Back here in Austin, as we enter into the last day of the Texas legislative session, taking a look at several of the bills heading to Governor Greg Abbott's desk. But it's not going to include a deal to lower your property taxes. Property tax relief, a big priority this session. However, the House and the Senate adjourned last night without passing a bill to lower them.
It's time to act. We need to prevent the next Uvalde or any shooting.
Lawmakers moving to shore up school safety in the final hours of the legislative session. House Bill 3 first enhances enforcement of security policies and procedures, giving the state more oversight after the failures in Uvalde.
It is really important to have oversight and accountability, and obviously at the core of House Bill 3 is to make sure we have somebody looking over there to make sure it's done.
The bill also requires districts place an armed police officer on every campus, but only if they can afford it.
While the aim is understandable, we must ask at what cost.
Some Democrats worried the bill's $330 million price tag won't go far enough to fund the requirements.
While the bill includes several laudable measures for facility upgrades and mental health initiatives, it does so at a financial cost which could cripple our public schools.
Lawmakers requiring guns in schools, but hoping to never use them. House Bill 3 also requires school staff who interact with students to receive mental health training to spot threats before they act.
I think we should have armed staff, and there should be armed somebody on a campus. But I'm more concerned about spotting the child in trouble than having to do something about a child that's in trouble.
There being 93 ayes and 49 nays, the conference committee report is adopted.
Governor Abbott is expected to sign the bill into law.
Ryan Chandler, KXAN News.
Another bill we're continuing to keep an eye on could allow new moms in Texas to qualify for a year of Medicaid coverage. State lawmakers passed a bill to extend coverage to 12 months after childbirth. House Bill 12 heading to the governor, who's made his support on the bill clear. As of last night, Governor Abbott has signed 244 bills, including the Texas Crown Act. That bill bans discrimination based on certain hairstyles in workplaces, schools, and housing policies. So far, 20 states have enacted legislation to outlaw race-based hair discrimination. Today, we could also find out when Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's Senate trial will take place. It's after the House overwhelmingly voted to impeach Paxton Saturday. He's facing 20 accusations ranging from bribery to retaliation. Last night, the House General Investigating Committee issued a dozen subpoenas going out to financial institutions, apartment complexes, even Uber. Committee has not said how this all relates to that Paxton investigation. Still ahead, a Texas nonprofit taking to the seas in a global sailing race. The effort to raise awareness for veterans' mental health. And with lots of people on the water this Memorial Day, what kind of watercraft is allowed and what's not on Lake Austin?
The host sites have been announced, and later this morning we'll find out where the Texas baseball team's going for regional play and a national title on the line for the UT rowing team on Sunday. All that's coming up.
Good morning. A live look outside at 6:14 on this Memorial Day. This is a live look up from Georgetown. Traffic is light around Central Texas. Shouldn't have any problem getting where you're going. We appreciate you being with us here, and want to tell you about a Texas nonprofit taking to the high seas next month to compete in a global sailing race on an effort to raise awareness for veterans' mental health. Since 2016, Skeleton Cruise Adventures hosting sailing excursions for veterans, military personnel, and first responders. The group, formed by vets, aims to raise awareness and support for post-traumatic stress disorder and other traumas. Skeleton Crew will start the months-long race in June, serving as the only team from the U.S. Crew members say they want to use this platform as a chance to call attention to the need for strengthened veteran mental health resources.
There's a way to live healthy again, that when you're alone and feeling like nobody has your back and you're going to have to live in pain for the rest of your life, you're going to have to see the darkest moments you saw overseas over and over again. This world's just a dark, nasty place. It's not true. There's a way to get healthy again. There's a team of us begging for you to come join us and show you that you can live a healthy life again, that you can get better.
If you want to learn more about this nonprofit and ways you can get involved, you can head to KXAN.com and click on this story.
Incredible. Thank you, Tom. If you're out on Lake Austin today, just a reminder that APD is enforcing a personal watercraft ban as a way to try and keep people safe during the holiday. The ban applies to personal watercrafts, wet bikes, motorized surfboards, and similar devices. Kayaks, canoes, and paddleboards are not affected. The ban will last until sunrise tomorrow morning, and it for sure was busy over the past few days, and really can't stress this enough, especially if you're visiting in town, you're not familiar, it gets crowded out there. So please be careful. And with the sun and the heat, you know, you need to stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. A lot of people get drinking. That's where you can get into trouble. Lake Austin, Lake Travis, also going to be super busy today. We have our documentary, The Wake, which is premiering today at 4:30 on KXAN, talking all about some of those hazards and dangers and what's gone wrong on Lake Travis.
Absolutely. So again, can't stress this enough. Make sure you also have a life jacket out there and be safe, and especially the sun. The UV index is still high. Let's get to the maps here at 6:16. As you're starting off your day, you need the hat, the sunglasses, the sunscreen, and to keep reapplying it. Even with the clouds, you can still get sunburn very easily, even with this very high heat index. I know a lot of people also head out to maybe the San Marcos River, head out to the Kamal River and go tubing. Again, just please be careful out there today. 69 degrees as you're starting off your morning. A little bit of mist and drizzle to kick off your day, so you'll encounter a few slick spots out along the roads, but overall, it's just a little bit of light rain that you're going to maybe need to run that windshield wiper once or twice. That's really about it. As we head into the afternoon, about a 20% chance of a few showers and maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two. But overall, the day has trended drier, so you're good for your outdoor plans. A majority of us will be dry. If you do see an afternoon storm or downpour, it will mainly impact your plans very briefly in the short term. 70 degrees in Burnett, 69 in Rockdale. Temperatures today climb into the mid and upper 80s, so we're actually unseasonably cool with the clouds up above. Watch what happens tomorrow. We're back up closer to average, 90 degrees, and then that sets the stage really for a nice warming trend and a dry and mainly hot weather pattern for the next few days. So a few sprinkles out from San Saba County to Mason, basically up and down 183, 281 into the Burnett area. Some steadier rain into western Travis County, trying to push its way northward into portions of Williamson County. Then some light rain into Bastrop. This won't add up to too much. This is very, very light rain. You'll see that through the later part of the morning. We'll dry and out, and then there's that 20% chance of rain, mainly out in the hill country for a downpour or maybe a thunderstorm that could produce some brief heavy rain into portions of Gillespie County. That's what it showed there. And then the day tomorrow, maybe a spot shower, though it's less than a 10% chance. We're mainly hot and dry under a mainly sunny sky. So more sunshine for the day tomorrow after we get past this cloudier sky for your Memorial Day. Then we'll go through a period of dry weather from tomorrow all the way through Friday, increasing rain chances Friday night and into Saturday and Sunday. And right now, models are leaning towards a rainier scenario for portions out in the hill country. So we would love to see that. We need that rain, so definitely stay with us for updates. Mold count continuing to be in the medium side, everything else in the low side there for your pollen allergens. 7-day forecast there showing that hot stretch of weather beginning tomorrow and lasting all the way through next weekend.
All right, thank you, Sean. Memorial Day weekend marking the start of the summer vacation season for many, and we're giving you a special look at some of the family-friendly places that you can visit around the state. Our Destination Texas special will show you where you can get an up-close animal check-in, or you can look at this haunted house and also see where you can cool down in some crystal clear rivers or relax on a beautiful beach. All part of Destination Texas. You can see it this afternoon at 4 right here on KXAN. Still ahead, the CapTex Triathlon race is today, but we're looking at how this could impact your plans downtown. Good morning, it is 6:45. We're taking a live look outside. You can see the sun is rising over Central Texas. Should be a really nice day for your Memorial Day plans. I want to get to some breaking news that we're covering, though, and we have now learned that a firefighter is in the hospital this morning after being stabbed on I-35 by Riverside. This is in downtown Austin. Happened in the early morning hours. We know I-35 was closed starting at around 3 this morning. It reopened just within the last hour. We do not know what led up to this stabbing, but this is some of that video from earlier this morning showing that police response. That firefighter, we're told, is expected to be okay and recover from those injuries. That stabbing suspect is now in custody. Around 4:30 this morning, heavy police presence there. All southbound I-35 lanes closed off for hours. We can tell you that the road is now back open. You will not have any trouble getting through I-35 or downtown Austin. Now here's Sean looking at an important safety message.
Right, absolutely. And on this morning, if you're preparing to head out to Lake Austin today, just a reminder that APD is enforcing a personal watercraft ban as a way to try and keep people safe during the holiday. The ban applies to personal watercrafts, wet bikes, motorized surfboards, and similar devices. Kayaks, canoes, and paddle boards are not affected The ban will last until sunrise tomorrow morning. I know a lot of people always out there each and every weekend. And now that it's a holiday, it's going to be almost double that number. So please be careful out there. And especially if you're not used to the heat, you got to stay hydrated. You got to start drinking plenty of fluids right now.
Yeah, alcohol and a lot of heat can be a bad combination.
Right.
But Lake Austin, probably one of our prettiest spots to visit on Memorial Day.
Absolutely, and including Lake Travis. Again, stay hydrated, and you need the sunscreen. Don't forget that. I know it's going to be kind of a mostly cloudy sky for many, but you still need to reapply that sunscreen, especially if you're outside for a few hours. All right, let's talk about this gorgeous sunrise out in Granite Shoals, looking really nice. You can see that cotton candy kind of sky out there, cloudy conditions. No rain out here, but we have a few sprinkles and some mist and drizzle in downtown Austin, so you'll encounter that and along your windshield, but we'll dry it out, and then we're actually trending drier today. Only about a 20% chance of rain into the afternoon and evening, so a pretty nice Memorial Day for your afternoon and evening plans. 70 degrees in Burnett, 66 in Blanco, 68 in Lockhart, 68 in Rockdale. Very, very light rain. In fact, we had a few sprinkles from San Saba into Burnett. That's even drying out. A little bit steadier rain from Hudson Bend into Leander, Liberty Hill. This is not going to amount to much. Very, very light intensity down through Austin into portions of Bastrop County. Some sprinkles in Caldwell and Fayette County. And then you'll see here into the later part of the morning, we drying out. Still a bit cloudy through lunchtime with some breaks of sun here and there. But we need to watch out for that 20% chance of rain to the afternoon and evening hours. I think with that round of rain, we could maybe see a downpour or maybe a thunderstorm, especially out in the hill country, and that could produce some very heavy rain in a short amount of time. So that's when you'll need to briefly head indoors, but not a washout by any means. And the majority of us, again, do stay dry. So your outdoor plans should be good to go, especially for the day tomorrow. We completely drying out tomorrow, other than a spot shower, less than a 10% chance of rain. But things really start to heat up, and we get ready for our next chance of rain that becomes maybe, hopefully, a little bit more widespread and heavy. We need the rain out in the hill country, and it looks like models here are starting to depict that by Saturday and into Sunday. Some of that heaviest rain could fall out in the hill country, and we could see some higher totals up there, and then we kind of miss out towards the east. And so we'd love to see something like this, especially with our ongoing drought out there. Pollen count, molds is in the medium category. Grass is lower today, so that is terrific news, and all those tree pollen allergens are trending lower as well from yesterday's count. So we reduced that chance of rain for today, only a 20% chance for a few showers and thunderstorms after this early morning drizzle. We'll see some sun here and there, but generally a pretty nice day today. Very light winds, temperatures. Again, if you think this is hot, by the way, this time last year we were very, very hot, so we'll take upper 80s for highs, but we do get a little bit warmer as we head towards the end of this week with a little bit more sunshine as well, with those rain chances trending upwards into the weekend.
Yeah, this is really nice for the end of May. Thank you, Sean. Memorial Day weekend marking the start of summer vacation season for a lot of families. We're giving you a special look at some of those family-friendly places to visit around the state. Our Destination Texas special will show you where you can get up close with some animals or check out a haunted hotel and see where you can cool off with some crystal clear rivers or relax on a beautiful beach, all part of Destination Texas. You can see it this afternoon. It's at 4 right here on KXAN. And while you're out and about today for the holiday, Austin police are asking you to keep an eye out and help them find a missing woman. 62-year-old Donita Silk was last seen in Northwest Austin on Solano Drive. This was late Friday. She was wearing a light blue collared shirt, described as 5'3" with brown hair, green eyes. Police say she has memory loss and early onset dementia. If you have any information about where she is, please contact Austin Police. And also keep an eye out today for some road closures in downtown Austin as athletes are going to take part in the CapTex Tri-Race. It's a triathlon that's going to begin with a swim in Lady Bird Lake. Then participants will bike through downtown and finally finish with a run in Butler Park. Because of the triathlon, a lot of roads near downtown are closed. This is a look at some of those closures you can expect to see downtown today. If you want to look at the full list of road closures, plan for your Memorial Day downtown, you can head over to KXAN.com and click on this story.
Thanks for joining KXAN News Today. You can also listen to KXAN News Nightly every weekday after 5:30 p.m. for in-depth coverage on what matters most to you.